How's it going, everyone? Texas Man here. I hope that you guys are all having a great day. If you guys would please give this video a thumbs up. If you guys do enjoy it, subscribe, of course, if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, make sure you guys hit the bell notification button so you guys don't miss out on future videos or streams here on the channel. You guys can, of course, find me on Twitch at Douglas447, streaming there at least once a week. As always, if you guys have any movies, shows, or games you guys want me to cover here on the channel, please let me know in the comment section down below. We are going to be continuing and, unfortunately but satisfyingly, concluding our review journey of the Planet of the Apes films, the Legacy Collection. So, when I have completed this review, I will have done a review of Rise, Dawn, War, Kingdom, the original Planet of the Apes from 1968, Beneath, Escape, Conquest, and now we are here with Battle for the Planet of the Apes. If you guys have missed out on a single Planet of the Apes review, I will have a link to the playlist here at the end of this video, so you guys can check them out there. Also, once I'm done with this, I'm going to be focusing again more on my review of Star Wars films. I've already got a review of Force Awakens, Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker, Phantom Menace, and Attack of the Clones out. You guys can find that in my All Things Star Wars playlist here on the channel. And I will be having my reviews of Revenge of the Sith, New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi out very, very soon. Battle for the Planet of the Apes came out in 1973. It's about 96 minutes long, and it is obviously the final chapter and the final film of the franchise based on chronological order of events. And it shows us the final battle where humans use their remaining firepower to make life hell for apes and to eradicate them. Obviously, this film does a very interesting thing where not only is it a sequel, and we get that with the opening introduction of a ape narrator, it is a sequel directly tied into Escape and Conquest for Planet of the Apes, but it's also the film that establishes and sets up and continues the time paradox / time loop that was established with Escape and Conquest, leading into the original film and leading into Beneath the Planet of the Apes. So there's a lot of Easter eggs, there's a lot of lore, there's a lot of things where this film is trying to be not only the final Planet of the Apes film for this legacy franchise, it's also having to be a continuation of Escape and Conquest. It's a sequel to Conquest, but it's also being the film that sets up the events 1,000+ years later with the original and Beneath. And the way that happens is Caesar, we find out, is the prophet. He's the lawgiver that we hear about and see in the original film and in Beneath the Planet of the Apes. The humans that are also going against the ape city in this film, they're not really the humans, they're the mutants that we see in Beneath the Planet of the Apes, and it explains why those humans look the way they did in that sequel is because of the radiation exposure that they undertook. We also get to see the atomic bomb that destroys Earth at the end of Beneath the Planet of the Apes. That is in this movie, and it was kind of a cool thing to see all these little Easter eggs, all these little nods, and see the build-up to those two films. So it was really cool. I will state the fact that I still believe that if you just watch the original Planet of the Apes from 1968, and then you watch Beneath the Planet of the Apes from 1970, and then you stop there, you do have a good beginning, middle, and end for the Planet of the Apes films. So if you've never watched Escape, Conquest, or Battle, like I have not done so before doing these reviews, so if you've never seen Escape, Conquest, or Battle, like myself, before this, you're not really missing much. Like Escape, Conquest, and Battle, they're kind of like the prequel trilogy to those two original films. It's not a horrible thing to see them, but like if you don't have the time, you don't care to have explanations. You don't want more lore. You don't want more, hey, how did this happen and why do these characters exist here and how did they get this thing? Then you don't have to watch these 3 films. But if you want further explanation and you want to understand the world in a better capacity, then watch Escape, Conquest, and Battle. The film ends here with the apes realizing that they're basically no better than their former masters, and that both societies, both human and ape, can finally come to terms and try to coexist. Obviously, we know that fails because of the events of the original film, but it's still cool to see that 1,000 years prior, Caesar and his ape city did try, but obviously it ultimately failed and crumbled. The performances, I will say, are horrible. No one seems to just want to be in the film. Everyone's just there and they're doing their part. Like, I don't, nobody really stands out. Everybody's just like, yeah, we're walking to war, we're driving a bus, we're operating a machine gun. It's like everyone's just like there to do a job and get a paycheck. Nobody really brings a lot of energy. The set quality is also very cheap. The costumes are bad. This army that's marching across the desert. I get this as post-apocalyptic New York City, but the fact that they have working jeeps with gas, it just screams like, okay, so you have electricity to be able to make these buses and jeeps with machine guns on them work. So why can't you get an Apache chopper or a tank? It just screams, huh? Like, why can't you get some better hardware to like make the final battle a little more epic in that way? It just feels weird in that way. Lastly, there's really nothing new. The film is a very basic, hey, we're going to go to the city. Oh no, we found mutants. And the mutants follow us back, and we have this big battle. It is a very basic plot, a very simple plot, and I feel like, this could have been a much shorter film and much tighter film, and should have just focused on a battle instead of trying to, cram in a bunch of other subplots that are in this film. Overall, Battle for the Planet of the Apes, it is a finale, and it ties in perfectly with the original and with Beneath the Planet of the Apes, and it makes the series basically a never-ending loop. Like, if you watch the original, and then Beneath, Escape, Conquest, and Battle, and then you go back and you rewatch the original and Beneath, then you understand this franchise just never, ever, I'm trying to do a spin, but I'm not. It just never ends. It's a never-ending loop. This series of films just, okay, I'm going to stop. This series of films just keeps going and going and going, and it never ends. Because of the time paradox established in Escape and, more importantly, in Conquest. So, I'm going to give this film a 7 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching. Have an excellent day. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys!